too little, too late. You know, it's hard when you start a game like that to put yourself in a position to win. And you know, we've seen that type of start against Kansas State on the road, and you know that we had the fortunate enough to make a lot of shots there in Manhattan to get us back. But you dig yourself a 23-point hole early, and you don't bring that energy, and you got the distractions going on that they don't come out with that type of motivation and will to win. You know, it's hard to coach effort and win. So, you know, they credit to them. They made shots. TCU came in here and I said they're gonna have to shoot us out of it, and they certainly shot us out of the game early. But I don't feel like our intensity and our will to win was there early. But credit to our guys for battling to the bitter end, and that's all I can ask. At the end of the day, we don't quit, and we keep fighting, and we battle to the bitter end.
Josh, you talk about this, you guys that walk, seniors, whatever some of them are. Just what this class has been through some tough times, but what your memories are of them in their last home game.
It just happened so fast. It was a quick 9 months with them, or 8 months at this point. So Jesse, I'll never forget going over and seeing him play with this national team and getting to know him, and Raekwon, going to Washington and spending time with him on a reservation, and each of them, I've learned a lot from them. They've learned a lot from me, and at the end of the day, our record's going to say, we're a failure, but we continue to battle and try to represent this state and these people, the best way possible.
What did you think of Jesse's performance today?
He's good. He was special. He was special tonight, and I understand the free throw situation, and probably wouldn't have went, as heavy, down low if I felt like we could, and had the mindset that we were going to make shots. I never really felt that momentum, So just kept on, getting him as many touches as possible. But it's hard to win when you from free throw line when you're where you're at, 19 for 34, and front end of 1-on-1s are killers down the stretch. 2 front ends, 1-on-1 with a guy shooting 90%. It's uncharacteristic, and it just turns into a turnover. But regardless, they fought, they battled. Jesse was special, and I've been challenging him each and every day. That's gonna, his physicality and his balance has to continue to improve, especially if get to the next level and compete at the next level. And he had that will and that desire tonight. He had that physicality to him.
Coach, obviously TCU on paper, stats, analytics, they don't take a lot of threes. Their percentage from threes, what it is, it's okay, not great. And so, the textbook says zone.
Yeah.
And then they come out and they hit nothing but threes.
Yeah, the first couple you're thinking, well, water always finds its level, but 2 or 3 more, you got to abort real quick. And 9 threes in that first half. I don't know what they were exactly. 9 for 16. They only hit 2 in the second half. We changed some defensive coverage and whatnot, but I didn't see them coming out there and shooting it as well as they did early. Like you said, we've been fairly, effective in the zone, but last couple outings, it seems like they've really shot it well against us.
How many times throughout the course of the season has an opponent bucked the trend? It's probably happened.
Yeah, seems like it happens more often than not. When against us, they're shooting way better, and we'll look closely at our defensive assignments and whether we got a hand up and was it a contested shot or dare shot, what we call in basketball, dare shot, and like I told him in the scouting report, like here's the numbers, but we got to understand. Let's look back at the K-State game. These are Division I players. If they get an open look, they're going to make it. So They're very, very talented people across the board in this league, and if they're wide open, they're going to make a shot.
When you're facing, a double-digit second-half deficit, is there like a target lead or score you're going for? Like, by the 4-minute mark, we need to be within 10, or is it we need to get X amount of kills defensively? Like, what do you look for there?
Yeah, I mean, you continue to try to the big for coaches, like trying to get under single digits is usually mindset. It really, I think even opponents on the defensive end, if they have that lead, a big lead, and it gets cut to usually around the 4-minute mark underneath, if you're single digits at that point, you got a heck of a chance. But yeah, we sit there and challenge them every time out. Like, we got to grind this thing. We got to grind it, and yeah, we can make shots and we can get offensive production. But if you can't stop the bleeding on the defensive end, that's the hardest thing. And I know what you're talking about with kills. We talk a lot about kills in our program too, and a lot of programs do in terms of 3 stops in a row. But I don't know if we got very many of those tonight.
As the game got deeper and deeper in that second half, I mean, Jesse's obviously gone through a lot this year. I mean, the whole program has, obviously. At some point in that second half, did it just become like, well, let's just see what we can get? I mean, he's obviously having a good game. Let's just keep getting it to him and see what he can do, or was it that just
No, I mean, look, I mean, we knew that was going to be our advantage from the beginning. They were really physical with him in Fort Worth, and it was his performance there was kind of uncharacteristic. So we knew that we had an advantage down low, and we were going to use that. But you look at the analytics when they make 11 threes and you make 4. We talked about this before. It's all mathematics. We're trying to pump it down low to get something easy, but when they're making threes on the other end, it makes it really hard.
His final stats tonight, you're talking about joining a list that includes Jerry West, Rod Thorne, guys that Huntley. He said he never really he didn't really know. But do you think that'll be something? I mean, you know him better than anyone. Do you think being on a list like that will mean something to him moving on?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he'll take it with a grain of salt, but he's got to, like us all, got to become the best version of ourselves each and every day and continue to grow. And he'll progress in his career, and he'll be continue to work at it and get better each and every day. And games like this, they'll give you a lot of confidence what your abilities are and something you can really build on. I don't know if he's had a 36-point outing before in his career. I don't know how close he's even got, but more so than anything, it's 15 for 19. That's about as efficient from the field as I've seen.
Josh, they're really hot from the perimeter, but is there another side of the coin there? Do you think you could have done better in the zone or in man? Were there certain things you're watching going on?
100%. Locating shooters. I mean, closeouts. High hand closeouts. It's sometimes it's anticipate, not react in basketball. And if you're reacting, it's gonna and you're slow. That split second difference in terms of getting there and closing can mean the difference in a made shot and a missed shot.
And then early on you said the distractions. I'm assuming that's a senior day thing too. That's your first time going through that. Some coaches have their own philosophy of what they want to do. Maybe not even do it right. Just what do you worry about before that? What did you see? And it sounds like you thought that had something to do with the start.
No, I just it's not a normal game, right? It's every time you got seniors out there playing for the last time. There's emotions involved. There's a lot of family in town. Family isn't a bad distraction by any means, but it's just not your normal game day routine. And sometimes it goes really well, sometimes it doesn't. So, but I don't think that's the reason why we, it is what it is. But you have to do it, and you have to honor them, and it's a special moment for those seniors, and I appreciate every moment and ounce of effort and representation they gave for this program. Not to mention not just our senior players, all those managers and our student trainer and those guys, working thankless jobs and really grind for this program every day, and to have them being honored, I love to see that.
On a night like tonight, from a lineup standpoint, in the second half, a Cook, Ofri, they didn't see the court. A lot of guys, their minutes went way down. Does it kind of feel like you end up finding kind of like what works a bit too late on a night like tonight?
Yeah, hopefully you put your best foot forward and you jump out early. But if you don't, you're trying to figure out who's going to give you the most. And sometimes it's just not guys' night, and so you got to get them out. And you got to, mix and match, try to figure out what that combination is. So just part of the process.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.